During the bye week, did you have a to-do list, if you will, of things you really wanted to work on? How do you feel you accomplished everything that you wanted to last week?
Yeah, I think we got some good things done. Over the bye week, you're always trying to do some self-scout and see what you're doing and what your numbers are, and then you're looking at the next opponent, trying to get a little bit ahead. Making sure you're good with your guys. That communication. And then obviously you just got to put in some time for recruiting too. So anyway, yeah, you're just trying to get as much done as you can during the bye week. Trying to get some guys healthy, and then some other guys some reps through that, and try to build that depth.
Michelle Gardner, Arizona Republic. Can you talk about kind of the rotation with your wide receivers? I think we saw a lot of Brian Thompson against Utah, more than we had before, and also the status of Johnny Wilson, how he might figure this week if he's healthy.
Yeah, I won't get into any of the injury report stuff. I'll let Herm do that. But as far as our wide receivers, each week can be a little different. Guys are stepping up, and some game plans may favor a certain guy, as well. So we're still trying to find a good fit. We got a lot of guys in that room that can be productive and that are very competitive. And so, again, like we talked about before, it's always tough getting all those guys the balls they want, and we'd love to spread it around even more. We're trying to get multiple guys touches because we feel like we've got guys that deserve that, and then also just trying to keep a defense off balance too. But each guy's different in each week, and how healthy they are, or whatever's happening through that week. You're just always making changes.
Hey, Zach, Chris Cartman, Son of a Source. Just kind of building off that, you got Ricky the ball a few times early in that game, and then it seemed like he wasn't targeted much after that. Was there anything? Is that like just the way the game flow went? Was that Utah's adjustment?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's after halftime, we kind of got into that. At least myself got into that. All right, let's try to continue on some drives. Let's not put ourselves in any bad situations for some third and long situations. We knew their defense was going to bring some stuff, and we didn't want to be in those. And so we were trying to run the football a little bit and control it. And obviously we ended up missing on two of those first third downs. We had the one drop and then the one misfire on the sprint out. That took us out of drives. So really you're limited to 3 plays each of those drives, and now you're not able to get into some of the other stuff that you want to keep a defense off balance with. And so a lot of it's just how the game ends up unfolding. And obviously we want to get our best guys the ball. And we felt like too, trying to get our backs the ball at that point as well was going to favor us. It just they had a ton of momentum, and we couldn't stop it.
And then, Coach, how do you feel? Obviously, always tough coming off a loss, but going into the bye week, balancing the guys wanting to get back on the field, and then also, but with prep for Washington State, with what's gone on with their coaching staff, do you feel the bye just came at a good time?
I think we were ready for a bye. Going into what week is that? Was that like 8? You already played 7 games, and I think our guys were coaches. Everybody was just kind of ready for that. Like, take a deep breath. Let's sort things out. Let's go back through our offense, defense, all this, all that type of stuff. Let's get our guys back mentally, health-wise too. And I think it came at a good time. Now, it's all about how you handle the week after the bye week. That's the important thing, because now you get into a little bit of that lull on the bye week, and then now it's, all right, we ramp it back up, and that's why these first few practices are so important, with the urgency and the attention to detail. We can't be lethargic through these, prepping for this game. So that's a challenge to us as coaches and players to put everything we got into it, because this is a last 5-week stretch.
When you look at Washington State, up and down season, but it looks like their defense has been pretty consistently playing well by and large. When you see them on film, Zach, do they remind you of any opponent from earlier this season, or what really defines that unit?
I think it's a little bit like Utah. I think they fly around. I think they are a group of guys that have got good experience. They're all older, and they've got some speed. They play hard. They play physical, and they're very active. And they do some things on third downs that give you problems. And so at every level, there's guys. They've got some pass rushers. Their backers are pretty good, and their whole back end is really good. So I think they communicate well, and again, it goes back to playing hard and playing physical too. And we try to be a physical offense, and then there's always that physical battle going on in the game, and kind of who wins that. But anyway, it'll be a good challenge for us. They do a very good job over there. And I'm sure they're going to be hungry to come in here and show us what they got.
Herm was talking about, we addressed the penalties yesterday, and he said 33 of them were on offense. Did you have a chance to kind of go back and look at those and see what the common theme was? Or
Yeah, some of them were operational stuff, whether it was false starts and things like that, some holdings, a wide variety of things, and obviously that's been a big point of attention for, both offense and defense, and then Coach Herm is just as a total team. We got to really limit those and do our best job to play a clean game, because we've taken ourselves out of some drives, and we've shot ourselves in the foot, at times too. So we're just more of the attention to that fact and to the details there.
Zach, I asked him yesterday about leadership within games, especially when momentum is kind of going against you guys.
Absolutely.
And I know you're in the box, so that maybe makes it a little bit more difficult for you. But what do you say to Jaden or other guys about getting the guys engaged at the level that they need to be when things are kind of going against them?
Yeah, that's been a big message this week, bye week, and just through these last couple games. And we've had some really good ones, and we've had some, situations where we haven't handled adversity well. And that's, every game is a lesson. You're gaining experience from every single, game. And so that point of emphasis, we're trying to drive home, as much as we can, from a coaching staff standpoint, from a player standpoint, and just when the adversity hits, we got to do a better job of staying together, trusting each other, trust the training, and staying confident, through it. But yeah, the leaders on this team we've got to be able to step up and communicate and stay positive and create energy, and because there's a lot of times out there that we've felt, that we've all felt, where it's like, all right, guys, where's the energy? Let's go. We got to work through this, and so that's what comes natural to some. It doesn't come natural to others, and we got to do a better job of training that as coaches.
Coach, Zach Keenan for Devil's Digest. How are some of the ways that you stay positive? Any reminders or something that helps you?
Well, I think it's just the awareness. And I talk to our guys all the time about just the awareness of what goes through your head. Am I thinking positively? Am I thinking negatively? Am I down in the dumps because I got negative things going on in my head? Okay, or am I learning from that on to the next? And we got to have that on to the next mentality. Like, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? Get rid of that. Okay, what's the next play? What's the next thing I got to do? Okay, and then helping each other. Those guys that do that naturally, now you guys got to help each other out that don't do that naturally, but it's just about identifying what's happening in your head, and then if you can do that and switch your mindset, then it makes it a whole lot easier.
Zach, are you staying with the up in the box as far as calling plays? Are you still up top?
We will see.
But you have been.
There's a draw. There's a draw for both. But yeah, we will see what happens.
My question was, the other follow-up question is, what do you see differently on the field that you don't see upstairs?
Well, I think upstairs it's just, you get the big picture. You can see all ends of the field. You can kind of see what they're doing. What they're, how they're aligning to certain things. But you lose the feel, the vibe on the sidelines. You lose the leadership or that connection with the players. And so there's a give and take to that. And I personally like both. But I do like being on the field and just having a little bit more presence on the sidelines and being able to look guys in the eyes, especially as a quarterback coach. And so I trust our coaches down there. And that's why it's been so comfortable for me to be in the box, because I trust our coaches to be able to go out there and do the job and make corrections and communicate with the guys. And so I think our guys are doing a great job.
But you have been up in the box for every game since
I have. Then we got a little bit into that, all right, should I stay in the box just because we're winning type deal, and all that fun stuff, all the good media stuff, right?
I know, Zach, you probably won't use the silent snapping at home for the next couple of weeks, but when
Yeah.
you watched that game back, what did you think about how that functioned? I know it can make it tough on offensive tackles in particular.
Just as far as when we are in those situations.
Yeah, just like how you guys used silent snapping
Yeah.
most of that game, and how you think it went.
Yeah, we did. I mean, it was the Utah game. We knew it was going to be loud, and we had hoped to take the crowd out of it as much as we could. That's always the hope on the road. But obviously, they got after it in the second half, and they did a good job. But yeah, as far as our operation, our guys are we've learned from that BYU game. Okay, we've moved on. We've got a little bit different. We've got multiple ways of operating in loud situations, and I thought the guys did a good job of that.